Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. Today's battle's on the Glacier map, and we've got MerryTurnipDay from Lame Clan. It's been a little while since we've seen him on the channel, but welcome back. Alright, he's in the FV4005 Stage 2, Tier 10 British TD. It's one of the two TDs that are in the game with the 183mm gun. The other one's the FV4005B 183, which is now a reward vehicle. Alright, MerryTurnipDay is not a shrinking violet, so we can see how aggressively he plays this particular vehicle. And as we know, it uses Hesh rounds as its main shell, which can do immense damage if they penetrate, similar to the FV4005B 183. So capable of one-shotting tanks, and yeah, we'll see how many opportunities he gets. Alright, so he's platooned with a VK7201K and a K91. And early days yet. Alright, so just looking for opportunities. Tanks peeking around the corner, which is what this spot gives you. Let's see if that Progetto 65 comes around the corner. But, so far, no luck. Now, the K91 just spotted a tank further up. Oh, there's TP1 coming around the corner potentially. Just needs him to come around a little bit more. Here we go. Line him up. Oh, and unfortunately that just misses. Now, one of the issues, of course, with the really large caliber guns is the aiming time. Given that, yeah, it's based on actual vehicles, the bigger the caliber, the longer it takes to sort of get the aim to go in. It's based on the mechanisms managing the gun. It's the only way to see. I don't know, I'm sure that STB1 even knew he was being shot at, but he might have heard the boom, you never know, but it was a big boom. Alright, let's just make the mini-map a little bit bigger, give it a bit more information. Alright, so, oh, Progetto 65 taken out by Artie, so he must have been taken down in health quite dramatically. The Artie player just exclaiming in chat, a bit surprised that he got the kill, but yeah, you cannot tell if someone shoots at the same time. If you got the last shot in and you get the kill, you may not get a lot of hit points, but you do get the kill. Alright, there's that, oh, STB1. Oh, there must have been two STB1s. Oh, sorry, it's Progetto 65 that got taken out. Alright, not getting a target on the Striv there, but that STB1 may just peak enough to get a shot, and here we go, on the turret. Misses again. Now, not spotted, but potentially he would again have heard it, but yeah, they've lost the STB1 on their own team to the enemy FV4005, so a bit of interesting symmetry there. And they've sort of lost their spotting, so is he going to do a blind shot here? It's sometimes not worth it with these shells because they are quite XY. I think something like 8k. Well, here we go, he's out in the open. And there you go. Gets the kill. So side shot on STB1, no problem penetrating. And unfortunately that was the only hit points he had, so not getting a lot out of it, but there's the enemy FV4005. And Merry deciding the right time to push up a little bit. Doing it in steps. Now this K91 player is fairly forward, so he's capable of spotting, but knows that this, oh here we go, FV4005 out in the open. Look at that aim time, can he get it in? 1844 damage, leaves him on 6 hit points, but because he tracked him, he gets the credit for that last 6 hit points as well. So all of a sudden up to 2500 damage. And that's sort of one of the interesting things about this tank, to how quickly you can create damage, even though the reload time is rather slow. You can see there 26 seconds, just under. course, the shell velocity relatively slow because it's an HE shell. However, you don't lose penetration of distance, so that's one of the advantages of HE-based shells compared to APCR. Alright, so just pushing up as much as you can. Everything's sort of out of view range at the moment, so it is sort of worth pushing up, although there was a medium tank spotted on this track. But he's certainly not getting spotted at the moment. Oh, here we go. 121, he does take a hit. Blinds him up. 1900 damage in one shot, leaves him on 116. So, oh, another shot comes in. Now, it's a fairly tall target, the FV4005, so he does need to pull back a little bit. There takes a hit from Artie, but that's unavoidable. Just needs to get unspotted again. And you see that in one shot, almost getting 2,000 hit points of damage. Alright, but so far the teams are pretty even. They're actually behind by about 1,000 hit points. Oh, he's got a 907 you can partner with. Looks like the 121 has pulled back. He was, oh, there we go. 116 hit points left. 907 takes him out. Alright, that allows Merry to push up even further. And of course he's unspotted, so take every opportunity to shoot at targets. And without being spotted is always a great boon to TD players. And he's got his platoon mate there in the K91 just pushing up as well. So everyone taking advantage of clearing this area of the map. Okay, Merry going down. Is he going to keep going down? It's just looking at all this, another FV target, and he gets the kill. 1,500 hit points of damage. That goes the enemy FV4005. He did get spotted there. Is he going to get some arty attention in return? So it depends on where the arty is fired recently. It goes dark now. He knows there's a striv down there, and he's in view range, but not getting spotted, so maybe the striv is pulled back as well. So Merry just closing in on 6k of damage. Oh, there's a 60 TP there. Can he get a shot on him? Well, yes he can. He potentially get a side shot here, so just needs to reload in time. 1046. So that looks like a non-pen. So if the HE doesn't penetrate, it does do roughly 50% of the potential damage. I know HE got reworked, but this is Hesh rather than HE. Actually, I'll just confirm that shell this is firing. He's using armor piercing shells now, so maybe that's what he was doing. Yeah, so that, no, sorry, must have been an armor piercing shell, so average damage 1150, so that 900 odd, that's 1046, almost exactly average there. And that was a side shot, so good potential there. But now they've got the enemy on the run a little bit, 3 tanks up. There's the Artie. Oh, he won't last long. In fact, there he goes. So now they're 4 tanks up. Oh, and there's the Striv. Can he line him up? Yes, he can. And again, firing AP does a decent 1100 there. Again, slightly on the high side for the shell. And there's 2 Strivs there, both of them on fairly low hit points. Only one takes one of them out. And Merry's on 8k, so he's having a big game now. And good thing he's staying down the low side saddle, keeping clear of the other striv. By the time he pops up, he'll be able to spot him if he's in spotting distance, but he needs to get some rear shots on these heavy tanks down there. And here we go, an unsuspecting M454 gets sent back to the garage. Now he went dark just as he shot, so his total won't appear in the total right now, and I'll have to see that in the in-game stats. But what was he? Was around about 700 hit points. So he's pulling up, and he's got another shot here on the T57 heavy. Could take him out 1600. Lines him up, goes for the cheeks. Oh yes, now rear of the turret. 1100 damage there with the AP shell. So he's obviously managing his costs here as well. Not sure that's his main motivation, of course, but 9.2k of damage, some shots whistling overhead. So he's pulling back out of view range, that Superconch won't spot him. And he's coming up here to back up K91. If they can get rid of that striv, then they can change the angles on the heavy tanks. Although they're starting to melt. There's only a striv and an E4. And he takes a hit from the striv, but sends him back to the garage. 9.3k plus whatever was in the blind shot. So this could be a 10k game. We'll have to see how that turns out. And where are the rest of the targets? Oh, the Superconch on very low hit points. 172, the E4's on 702. Lots of crashing going on. They've just crashed two tanks now. The 70, sorry, the E4's been taken out. So it's just the Superconch. I don't think he'll get there in time, but let's hold our breath and wait for the detailed results to see if he managed to crack 10k. And there goes the Superconch. So that's the end of the game. Alright, so great game there from Merry. Let's go and have a look at the detail. Alright, mystery solved. Yes, he did crack 10k. 10,097 hit points of damage and 4 kills. And a very minor amount of assisted damage there, adding another 6 hit points of damage there. So that made him the highest damage in the game, I would say, because he's earned the high caliber award, so getting at least 20% of the hit point, and I think he's exceeded that quite well. And of course the Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. So let's see how the team performance went. Alright, well, he's finished well on top there with 1225, and his platoon mate there getting pretty close in experience, only a couple of hundred XP points behind, and the other platoon mate did nearly 4k of damage, so acquitted himself well. So the whole platoon, yeah, really contributed to the win of the game. And on the enemy side, the E4, who really, well, by lasting the longest, he might have been playing at the back, I guess, but managed to do nearly 4.4k, being the highest damage there. So shout out to that player there from NZS. Alright, so let's see what it cost to run. Well, luckily he had some personal reserves running and battle payments from the clan as well, so that always helps. He fired 11 shots and 9 of them hit, and that really helps as well, because every shot that hits and can do damage, and all of them did damage, then yeah, you're not really wasting too many rounds in terms of the cost. So he did spend 60k on ammo and another 23k on his consumables, but he still made a net profit of 75k, so not to be sneezed at, and pretty good for a tier 10 result. So great game there from Merry. 10k game. I think you always want to put that in the pool room. Sort of games you look back on and you get a bit nervous when you're getting close. So I'd like to see more of those, I would hope. But anyway, great game there from Merry. Thanks very much for the content. Hopefully you liked the video, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing that. I'll have more great content to follow. Thanks very much for watching.